Do you know what that is? British Army field canteen, about 1950, 5 years after the war. It was bought by a fellow in Louth, and he turned it into a travelling shop. And now it's here in the museum, and wait till you have a look at it. The travelling shop. How are you? Is there anybody there? Could I have a loaf of bread? Ah, Jesus, look at that, a loaf of bread. Anything else? There was a travelling shop came in West Cavan, but I also remember them up in Donegal when I lived out in Brads, which is kind of near Carrickfinn Airport. Very, very beautiful part of the country. And I lived there one time in a chalet for about a year and a half. And I had a bicycle, but I had no car at the time. And you'd really need the travelling shop for all your groceries. Used to come maybe of a Thursday afternoon. And the only other way was maybe the Swilly bus, the Loch Swilly bus, to get you into Burtonport or somewhere, or Dunlow, I think, of a Thursday as well. But you needed the travelling shop. It brought you meat, and it brought you bread, and it brought you cigarettes, and you can have a look in there. It'd bring you anything. You can see the fruit field jam up at the top, and then you have the old tobacco, the roll your own tobacco, and underneath that I can see those bags of fruit, dried fruit, Ovaltine, crystal, ceramic tile grout, Purcell, borax, English refined, soft for silk, wax polish, Wren's black dubbin, I could put that on my barber, and cardinal polish. I always knew, if my mother was annoyed or angry, you'd see her taking out the cardinal polish and doing the tiles at the front of the door. You'd say, you see the cardinal polish? It was not a good sign. And then you have the old little tilly lamps and oil lamps, and you have lighter fluid. You wouldn't think they had cigarette lighters in them days, but anyway. What else have you got? Ah, look at this. You see this? That's the brown paper that my man and providers used to have when you'd be getting your messages, or maybe the butcher would have the brown paper, and then wrap around, and then get the twine and go ping with the twine when he had the knot done in it. Always used to amaze me how he could do the little ping and the twine had cut. I can see potties in there as well. Have to have them. And there's eggs here. And there's Aladdin's pink paraffin. Remember that one? Well, you wouldn't unless you're as old as me. And there's a Christmas dances here. Look at this. Now look at this. Christmas dances in the Rainbow Ballroom, Glenfarn, Monday the 26th of December. The fabulous Melody Aces, Newton Stewart. Admission €5 on the door. And then the Billy Campbell Band show from Derry. 2 terrific bands. A happy Christmas and New Year to all of you. And who's it signed by? The great and famous John McGivern. He was the man who originally opened it as the Ballroom of Romance, who came back and would do the romantic interlude. He'd have the dicky bow on him, and he'd stand up and he'd stop the dance and he'd say, and now the romantic interlude. And that's where people used to get very romantic and found their lady wives and their beautiful husbands and all the rest of it. And they did a film of that, and they came to Glenfarn to film it. And whatever bother they ran into, whoever was being difficult, I don't know, but they said, we can't do it here, and then they went off to Mayo. And now everybody thinks the Ballroom of Romance was in Mayo, which it wasn't. It was in Glenfarn in Leitrim, for God's sake, and it was the best place for dancing because the floor was put down on big tractor tyres. That's because it was all boggy. So they put tractor tyres in, and then they put the floor down. And to this day, It's the best floor for going up and down, and you feel lighter in yourself when you're doing the dancing. I think I'll go home now. I hope you've enjoyed this little series about a wonderful museum. It's kind of like a museum of love. It's a kind of a collection of old memorabilia from life in Leitrim over decades and even going back into the last century. There's a huge big famine soup pot here as well. An extraordinary thing to see, but you'll have to come yourself and see that. And it's got Honda 50s and Volkswagens. It is a remarkable place of nostalgia and memory. From Carrigan, Shannon, Drumshambo, French Park, Fina, Mohill, Ahavas, Drumila, Newton-Gore, Carrigallen and loads of other places. And there's nothing in it about Cavan at all. So goodbye. I hope you enjoyed it.